Except for that one item, Mindbreaker. Please, nerf. For God's sake. I'm begging you.
All right, let's get to it. So, has Weha lost
The
an
great Invoker set.
I don't know if Weha has lost an Invoker this patch. I think every time I've seen him play it, he's won. So, that's
Maybe
a good start.
Good luck charm.
He might have lost one game in the major qualifier, but I've seen them play Tusk Invoker and win convincingly in the game I saw, and then he won with Invoker last game, and I think I've seen a third game with Invoker he also won. So, definitely the kind of hero you want in an important game like this. But man, there are some questions to be answered here. How good is Core Shaker? Is Shaker Morph still good?
This will be a small sample size.
Can Weha not overextend for 5 minutes?
Well, that's a definite no. Let's be real. That's part of the charm for Weha. That's why he's one of my favorite players of all time. It doesn't matter how many times he's died. He's gonna still go in deep. You know.
He goes in. He plays aggressive. Can appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people underestimate how difficult it is to gauge how far you can go. And when he does brilliant moves where he goes exactly as far as he can, a lot of the time it's almost taken for granted that that's just, oh, he just did the right thing. But it's actually really hard to do it when he does it right. And it's very easy to screw it up harder than he does sometimes. So, you know, it's just... It's a player personality, kind of, if you could say that. Like, some people play a lot more safe and more conservative, like Universe. It's a very stable player, I would say.
Yeah, that's right. It's funny that you say that, though, because Miracle, obviously a teammate of Weha's, I find him to be mega aggressive, but at the same time, he rarely feeds. It's like this rare combination that you don't really find very often, on that role at least.
I think historically Miracle has been relatively, I would say, on the scale he would be more conservative than a lot of other carries, in my opinion. I think he's been more calculated.
Arteezy reserved?
I think he's more aggressive actually than Miracle. And I know people are maybe going to disagree with that because they think of the playstyle of the team, but that's something else. Like, if the team's strategy is guy hits a lot of creeps, then that's their strategy. But the way Arteezy plays fights has, in my opinion, historically been on average more aggressive than Miracle. He like really commits hard. And there's good and bad things about both. It really depends on your strategy, it depends on your team play, it depends on the timing of the game, what hero you're playing. You can't just say absolutely that, oh, playing safe is better, because Dota doesn't work that way. We just gotta find the right balance, which is very difficult to do. Alright, got some interesting situation here. Toby and Aramis are pulling away the wave, and GH and Kuro are trying to make them sweat. Obviously, tri-laning safe lane here will leave Mind Control relatively vulnerable, but the lane he's playing against is very unusual. It's a carry venge A lane. Not your standard lane.
Toby looks like he will feed the first blood. Does get the entire wave in the vicinity, though. And Aramis will reap the benefits, it seems.
Interesting. GH TP'd back to base. I feel like in the last patch, that's a given that you just suicide to the tower there. So they see the math as a big change here. It's a big difference, and he doesn't want to suicide to the tower. He thinks it's bigger value to lose all this time.
How much was changed in that regard? I don't even remember.
I need to see it happen in the game. Like, you just need to see the numbers pop up and feel, because you can look at all the the math behind it. It's like X% based on GPM or whatever, and it's like hard to gauge how much it really is. But GH must have experienced it firsthand and been like, okay, suiciding was not worth it anymore.
Right. So, yeah, that's really interesting. I hope that actually is the case, that more people do not suicide, because that's kind of like a gimmicky thing, you know. Yeah. I know that IceFrog and company don't want that to be a thing anyway. It goes without saying. We did see the kill bottom lane, of course. The Vengeful Spirit getting Shad, of course, on the board. Very excited about this hero. See what he ends up building on her. As Tanner, unfortunately, cannot get to this.
Oh, Celery's got to be careful bottom as well. MC one more hit would do it. Oh, they baited him in, though.
Yeah, Magic Missile in it.
He's going to get locked here. It's fine.
Going to get proc there from the cold feet. Mind Control doing a good job despite dying here.
Yeah, he's way ahead of the Centaur. Like, Centaur is level 1, and Mind Control is level 3. Almost 4. So I think this tri-lane is working out very well.
Really surprised, Syndrin? I've been hating on this hero lately.
I know you have.
Tag team. Not
Any
quite
hero
enough.
looks
No
bad in your
snowball yet.
hands, and it's your
How
favorite hero. So.
Hey, I used to be 6th globally on Centaur. That was
Do you think
when
you were the
Stampede
6th best
stunned,
Centaur
though.
in the world?
I was for one day. Okay. Remember,
The Dota
Stampede
buff
stunned,
ranking
so
is absolute.
Of course it is. Like, if that's not absolute, then what is? You know?
Yeah, it's true.
I could have won TI if Centaur kept his stun on his ult. Honestly.
Yeah.
And they couldn't ban Centaur as well.
Yeah, and you had
Now
first
it's
pick
all
every
about Pango, though.
game. Yeah. Dude, that
And
has
Control's
not been
doing
given
really
much
well
love
down
this patch. I honestly think Pango conceptually should be pretty good. Like all this brawling, fast gameplay,
Low cooldown
mobility,
ult.
team fight. Yeah, I think Pango definitely should have a spot right now in the meta. It might come at some point.
He'll find his way, don't worry. He always does. Top lane, Toby. Oh boy. Yeah, he's going to have one of those games, it feels like, at least to the start.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Aramis.
Oh, he
Gets
lost
the
his
health
salve and
salve
gets
off,
killed.
but GH cancels it, and that is another easy kill. As Toby TP's back, and like you said, level 2 versus Mind Control, who's about to hit level 5 here in a couple seconds.
Yeah. So the trade-off is that the supports of Nigma should have lower XP, which they do. Kuro and GH are both only level 2, and on Viking the Wyvern is almost level 3, and AA is almost level 4. But I would still definitely take the end of the stick that Nigma's got here, for sure. It's much stronger to have this early core level advantage, especially now that there's the outpost at minute 10. Even if you have 2 supports that are relatively low level, you can get them both to 6 with an outpost and the books. In the past, you would run into this problem where you give them both tomes, but if one of them is only level 4, he won't get 6. But with outpost and tome, you probably get there. So that definitely helps the trialing aspect quite a lot.
Oh my goodness, they
Barely
forced the
staying.
trying out for Mind Control. Mind Control is actually so freaking good. It's insane to watch this. Had a nice fissure early to secure
AA is
his
dead.
bounty rune. Yeah, we got some company
If he
coming in the
wants to
form of
waste the
GH.
time on it, he doesn't. He'll let GH take care of the trash.
It's like, all right, GH, they got the trash, buddy.
Oh, that
Celery's
should be
actually
Kuro.
gonna
Kuro is the
suicide
trash
here.
man. All right, let's see how much this gives now. 142 shared bounty. Is the XP global as well or something? I don't remember. That doesn't look very bad.
I don't think it's not global for everyone, is it? I guess if it's shared, I don't know. That's a good question. Not
Yeah.
sure. I know they changed a lot of the global stuff. Vengeful Spirit.
He's dead.
Oh, he's stuck.
Nice blocks.
To be super dead here. Nice gank here from Nigma. As Celery. Not able to really
MC
help.
is low.
No.
MC's dying to the Illu.
Oh shit! I missed it.
They got him back. Yeah, don't forget there's
Somehow
2
missed
heroes
that.
in one. It's a
know.
Kinder Surprise hero. Oh, Lich is in
Kuroki.
trouble.
Radiant's top tower is
Taking
under
some nice
attack.
bursts there from Celery and company.
Oh, wait, who's in
Celery's
trouble
stuck.
actually?
Man, GH level 2 and can still get people blocked in shards consistently. Incredible play. All right, well, 6-2 advantage for Nigma. That's a pretty early one. Early advantage overall. Tanner level 6 on this Storm Spirit. Weehaw level 6 as well.
Yeah,
Looking
there's
forward to see
definitely
what
a
Weehaw
big
can do
power
this
spike
game.
happening right now for Nigma. Now GH is level 3, so he has Snowball. You have the Morphling and Invoker with basically free lanes at this point, so now they can start playing around MC, who's hitting his 6 minute 7. He was 1 on 2. This is a super good result. Oh, I don't think that was a good spell combo. That is actually not good at all. Why was the first TP I guess it got cancelled by Weehaw in mid. He tornadoed the first TP.
Dire's
Yeah, but
top
Tanner has TP'd
Tanner's
here now,
still
looking to
here.
clean up Kuroki to start. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana.
Oh, nice snowball.
Ball. They're going to perhaps stun lock Storm Spirit, but no. Looks like it's going to be turned around completely as Viking able to secure 2 kills in this bot lane.
That, you could have shown me a clip of that moment and I would have never guessed it was this team that made that mistake. Like, they fissure blocked the Venge in the trees in the tower, and then they sharded her and tried to run in and melee her in the middle of the woods. They couldn't even reach.
So what you're saying is they didn't layer properly.
What I'm saying is that was not a go.
Just say it, Synderen. You can say it. Layer.
Layerth.
No, they don't sponsor this.
Okay,
Miracle
alright.
level 7, top of the net worth, along with Weehaw. So despite that, Nigma is still at a 1k advantage so far this game. There's an arcane rune. And that's going to be a beautiful pickup for the Storm Spirit. Tanner's going to be very happy with that.
This is a big tornado if he gets it.
They're going to turn this around onto Weehaw. TP support in the form of GH. Does get the snowball off. Oh my god, he's going to live. Yes.
God.
Oh my goodness. That is so disgusting to watch. Toby, in the meantime, dying top.
That was better than the bottom move was bad. Okay,
Yeah,
that was
I
real.
would agree with that. That was really good.
Nice play.
Like, the thing that just blows my mind when he plays this hero is, like, he can have so much impact despite having, like, next to no levels, you know? Like, typically, any support is going to need a few levels to be somewhat useful, but...
Oh,
no, swap.
failed the fissure, but Shad will just swap Celery into the tower, and they're fine.
I feel like that's not how you say his name, but we're going to continue saying Celery.
It definitely is Celery. I think this is the Dutch spelling of the word. He's a Dutch player.
He just really likes Celery.
In Danish, we spell it like that, but with 2 L's, I think.
Mind control, taking a lot of damage. Looks like he will live for now. GH still staying alive somehow, and they get the Wyvern after all this. Tornado onto the Storm Spirit. Still has a ton of mana to work with, though. Vengeful Spirit, no stun from their 2 seconds. Gets the swap off, but do they have vision of Weehaw? They do. So that's a 1-for-1. Tanner going to continue the pressure. Weehaw. Beautiful AA ult onto 2. And Viking wins this convincingly 3-1, as Mind Control has to tippy-toe away.
That was such a good Ice Blast. Perfect timing to get that.
What do you think the meta on mango trees are right now? Is this a good placement?
Where'd he put it? Oh, there. I have this feeling that it's better to put it in a cluster of trees where the enemy doesn't see it, so it doesn't get removed.
Oh! Mind control! It's gonna be close, but he dies first. He doesn't get the XP, but the gold is there. Shad, in the meantime, will take the GH punishment. Miracle actually gets the last hit there.
There's a bounty rune to be taken. Is he gonna let Shad destroy it? He did. Damn, I thought he was gonna adapt at him and get the rune. A little sloppy here. All right.
Viking gets both outposts, by the way. That is pretty big.
That is real big. Again, the very early game was not looking good, but then these last 2 fights have been going really great for them. And Toby, who had the absolutely horrible start, is getting space because of this bottom.
He's seeking a bottom.
Catching up. He's level 6, phase boots and buckler.
Ooh. Okay, not nearly enough to kill him. Goodness.
Invisibility.
Well, it looks like we're gonna have a gank in the top lane. Weehaw level 8.
Tanner solo miracle.
Did he go? It's like Aramis will be the first to fall in this top lane.
I think he solo killed him on a ward. He just did a long jump. And got Miracle, who was farming in the jungle.
Oh, okay. I thought Miracle died to like AA Blast. I'm like,
there
wow,
might have been an AA Blast involved in that play. It's possible that he sent one earlier.
Yeah, GH with double bracer, level 6 at 11.5 minutes. Not too shabby. Off to a really good start, individually at least. And he is going to find Tanner with this Invis rune. Will finally expire a little bit too early for his liking. Tanner with absolutely no mana. And Kuroki is here with that Lich. Oh, Tanner really wants to get to the shrine. Very questionable move here. He will be taken out easily.
He did not expect all these heroes to be there. That came as a complete surprise.
Radiant's middle
And I guess it is
under attack.
easier for us to see.
Yeah, however, I mean, you have a bit of a point, because when you look at the map, right, Venge is hitting the tier 1 tower bottom, and Morph is hitting the tier 1 tower mid, so where's the team, right? They have to be somewhere in that proximity. Swap on Wii maybe coming in? No.
Nope.
I thought he was going to try for that one with AA nearby.
Same.
Snowball GH. No Stampede. He should be out here.
Radiant's
It's fine.
middle tower is
Yeah,
under
Swap
attack.
is still extremely low range at level 1. Something that will haunt Vengeful Spirit for her entirety lifetime of Dota 2, no doubt. Aramis very low on the mana department. Weehaw's going to find both Toby and the Wyvern. Looks like he'll focus the Wyvern.
Oh.
And perhaps go for a tier 1 now.
Puts things into perspective when you think about how high up in the air you get punched. When Wyvern is flying, he gets punched up 3 times as high as he's flying. That's That's really fucking high, not gonna lie.
Well, I feel like in Dota, the people, or the heroes that fly, it's actually quite low range flying. You know, it's not like they're above the trees or anything.
No.
They can go over. They can go
not again, Miracle. Ooh, got him again. Same play.
Blown away.
How did he have the read that he was there?
Yeah, there's no vision here.
Wait, how did he get that read? He's just anticipating that Morph is farming in that area, and then he's throwing it from an angle that will hit all 3 neutral camps. Because if you throw it from the left to the right, and you throw it in the right angle, it will grow big enough by the 2 last camps that it hits them both, and it will fly through the first one. That's actually really cool.
Shad getting perma-stunned. Can he get the swap off? It's going to be close. No, he doesn't try for it, actually. Gets the Echo Slam instead. Here comes Tanner. Lich Ult bouncing left, right, and center. So 1-for-1 as the Tusk falls. And now Weeha is here with that tornado. Hoof stomp onto 2. Pretty nicely done with the AA blast as well. Looks like Toby might be the consolation prize for Team Nigma.
I don't know if they get him.
Really? I think so.
Oh, he has a
I
fear.
think so, Cinderin. I think so. Oh, God. They got him.
Yeah.
Yep, I knew
They
it.
still had a fear, and Miracle came from the back. Okay. But Shad killed Weeha. Did he just die to the Venge illusion in the middle lane while chasing the Scent?
I don't know.
Or
I couldn't tell you.
Wait, what happened? I'm
His
clicking
Venge
Weeha to see where he died. He died next to the mid-tier 1 tower. To Vengeful
Getting
Spirit.
initiated on Storm Spirit, level 13 with a Kaya. He is owning. Off to a really solid start.
Loving that
He is
Arcane Ring too, surely.
4 levels ahead of Weeha right now.
Oh, not again, Miracle. Not again. How many times must this happen?
Jumps in. Ends up wave forming. We're going to follow this, though. AA Blast is still applied.
Oh, Tanner. Okay.
Tanner.
Oh,
Actually, the AA Blast runs out, and that means a miracle.
He
Overextended.
choked there. That was a choke moment. It's just messed up, I think. That was some misclicking going on. That was actually a kill. If he committed for it, I'm pretty sure. He ended up somehow Ball Lightning.
Is that not the case?
He used Ball Lightning in place next to the Shaker instead of jumping after the Morph after the Fissure, so...
I see.
I think there was some sort of misclick going on there. Big shame for Tanner. But worth noting, though, this time Nigma were prepared for the play, right? Miracle's like, fool me twice, but not 3 times. So he had a Shaker on backup that time. Shad is in trouble again. Shad is dead.
Yep. Kill that illusion. Don't let him kill one of your teammates again.
Curse.
Uh-oh. Wyvern Curse.
Set up for the Shaker. Alright, Centaur.
Miracle.
Oh, that's
AA Blast coming in as well. The Strength Morph is already going. Has waveform as well, as the Lich Ult will continue to bounce. A lot of creeps that soak it up, though. As Weeha takes the Stampede. Hoof Stomp not available. But there comes the Storm to finish him off finally. And the Toby on... The Centaur does fall as well. Sounds like being a 1-for-1 in that exchange. Triple kill for Tanner, as he is just relentless, despite making that slight mistake at the bottom lane, continuing to roll for Viking.
Yep, and they get the mid tower too, and it's a big win here. Viking. Oh, Blink Dagger reveal.
Go slam! Oh, God, that hurt. Jesus.
You love your strength initiators.
That felt
There's
so
actually
good.
nothing that gets you more excited than this except food, I think.
Are you calling me fucking fat, Cinderin?
No, I'm just saying you love food.
Are you fat shaming me, Cinderin? That's probably true, though.
I get more excited
As long as
over food than this as well, so we can be fat together.
I could
Van
not
Brace for
picture you
Miracle.
fat.
He had the two Wraith Bands, so immediate upgrade.
It's always hilarious when the hero that needs it finds it himself as well.
Yeah.
Quite fitting. Has a Dragon Lance, so we'll be going the shotgun build now with E-Blade.
I wonder
next
why he
up.
went for a value Dragon Lance as part of his build up this game. It's pretty unusual, I would say. Maybe it's the range advantage against... Well, who do you want the range advantage against? Everyone on the Radiant has more range than you anyway because of Venge.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, is there any value in upgrading to Hurricane Pike later?
Not really. It doesn't look like a good Pike game at all, I think.
Ooh, double Van Brace. Look at that. One on each team. I have never seen this in my entire life. In the history of Dota, this has never happened. I'm pretty
I
sure.
actually think this is one of the best heroes in the game to have a Keen Optic on, by the way. I didn't notice it until now. The Wyvern has Optic. It's really good to have cast range on this hero. It's like the best stat in the game, more or less. Super good.
What do you think of Essence Ring, by the way? Not an item we have talked about. Gives the HP. Where is it actually? I lost it.
It gives, I think, is it 375 heal and 375 max HP? It's on the Lich right now.
It's a lot of mana.
I think it's a really good item. It's got to be a
has to go on an intelligence hero, though.
Yeah, for the most part, I would say. In this game, it's not that great because of AA Blast, right? But,
well, max HP, right? Isn't that good? Doesn't that help?
Not
directly,
if you're hit by AA Blast, then you're actually killing yourself by using it.
Well, I meant before, like if you see it coming.
Oh yeah, of course. Then you get the heal, right? And you increase your max HP, so that's fine. But, I think theoretically it should be a pretty cool item on Morphling because of how much healing 375 is for him when he's morphed down to agility, right? If you can do that in a fight, you could almost fully reset your entire hit point pool. That's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't think there's a better carry in this game than Lich. Probably.
They are really searching for this Wyvern. My goodness. And he's probably sweating his balls off right now.
He has Arctic ready.
And they're giving up.
Oh,
Broom handle picked up by Miracle.
Tier 1 item number 3, 19 minutes in.
Yeah, that's strange. And he's been in the jungle quite a bit too. So I'm guessing
that is very late.
You know, they found all 3 tier 2s on the other side.
Yep.
And Team Nigma still has another tier 2 to get. So they found 2 tier 2s before that last tier 1. That's really weird.
Clumsy Net on AA is...
Dire's top
It's pretty good against Morph. It's nice. Ice Blast mid. We're just gonna try to scare them a little bit here. But it missed completely. And that's actually information that Nigma can use now. They're smoked and they know there's no Ice Blast. That is the moment for Morph to shine. Toby is gonna break the smoke, instantly blink out, and... Actually, nothing will come of this. It's just gonna be a trade-off. Probably.
That's a couple times now that they've dodged the onslaught. They also got the top... Actually, they had both... No, I'm sorry. It was 1-for-1 again. I always find it very interesting how these teams react to like the outposts and getting their smokes out like right beforehand just to make sure that they can secure it, or if they want to try for the other side that isn't even taken yet, or if they're okay with the 1-for-1 exchange. There's so many mind games with this outpost that I think it's very interesting.
And I think the level of play will be a lot better in 1 month, because I think teams are still learning.
Yeah, true.
A lot of the times they're late or don't think about it as the primary objective on the map, which I would argue it is. It's more important than the bounty runes, right? So, or at least that one. Got it off.
There. He did get it off and waveform to safety.
Oh boy, Tanner.
In, half mana.
He has regen rune.
Okay. You always feel safe with a regen rune. Looks like everyone will dodge any kind of death. Now, the interesting thing with Morphling, we talked about this Shaker Morph combo. He's not going for Ags. Do you go for it later? Or are you just going to go the old-fashioned Morphling where you don't even bother with that anymore? Well, we're going to see a swap on the Weehaw, by the way. Quick Stomp with the Magic Missile. Winter's Curse onto 2. Beautiful zoning overall. Weehaw's going to be easily cleaned up by Viking. As Mind Control's going to be next on the list, and Kuroki will be the 3rd. So a great gank. Gets off the Lich ult. See if Miracle can maybe pick somebody off. I don't think so. They're pretty... Oh, okay. Forgot that Centaur is a horrible hero. I keep saying that so he gets buffed one day. And it looks like the Roshan will be a...
IceFrog doesn't give a shit what you think, Sunscan. How dare you?
I know. I've been waiting for that Centaur buff for years. Or is that Stampede stun, man? Come on. Please.
Well, it's going to result in... Okay, they're not going for the Rosh. They're worried about the time that they couldn't finish it, and that's a difficult call to make, honestly. I think it's one of those where they could have pulled it off, but it would have been really, really tight, and they could have lost multiple heroes in the process afterwards. So I kind of like that they played it safe there, but I can't tell you for sure that it was the right play. But it shows the foresight, at least. That
look at this. Mango cleanup crew for GH.
They're smoking with a half HP Storm.
Oh.
That is bold. They have no vision up here.
This is a cool play.
Dire Scan.
I like it. Oh.
Weehaw, is he going to cast anything? Sunstrike? He's helping them.
Yeah, he helped them a bit.
This is scary as fuck.
Weehaw. Tornado Storm comes in. Aegis is taken by Storm himself, so he's very, very confident. And he cleans up 2 heroes right off the bat. KuroKy doesn't have his ultimate. Looks like he's going to be third on the list. Invoker buys back into the game. Of course, Tanner, remember, has that Aegis, so doesn't really care what happens to him right now. Gets saved from the cold embrace. GH gets the snowball off. Will die shortly after. He's still alive, actually. A double kill for Shad now. Buybacks galore for both respective teams. Mostly Nigma, though. That is a dieback on the Invoker. And Miracle has to get the hell out of Dodge. A huge fight for Viking.
It's not over yet.
Pressure will continue. They're going to see Miracle.
Will Toby get a
Another
blink off
waveform.
here? No.
They're just going to let him go.
Damn, that
was a huge win. Whew.
That ended up being way better than if they would have just tried for the Roach in the first place, because this way they also baited out a fight. The smoke was really nice, and they're using this AA, the Wyvern Curse into AA Ice Blast very effectively. That was very nicely done.
Well, I just noticed a Glimmer Cape on Mind Control. It's not the prototypical pickup for Earthshakers, is it?
Absolutely not, but
pretty cool.
They have some serious mitigation issues. The Storm is running rampant. He has 22 Bloodstone charges. Way too much spell amp going on right there.
Oh, they're going to run into both KuroKy and Miracle. He gets off the Strength Morph, though. They got the stun from the Lich as well. Looks like the punch is going to be targeted toward the Wyvern, who's very low HP. The Lich does get the ult up at the last moment, but Miracle is dead. Does have buyback. See if he ends up expending it here or not. Tanner completely out of mana. But
hey,
find any more kills. Yeah, Weehaw.
Kuro's dead again?
There. Yeah, KuroKy.
Or maybe not. There's the Essence Ring.
Very
Didn't account for that one. Yeah, he's fine. Essence does it.
Nice cast, KuroKy. Well done. But another one fight for Viking. Really well played so far from them.
They are getting incredible value out of their supports. I just want to point out how big of an impact this Wyvern and AA are having. And I'm surprised too, right? Because I said this is not a good Wyvern game, and I still stand by that. But Nigma have to place their heroes better on their engages. They have to move in from multiple angles, and they keep getting like 2 or 3 heroes caught in this curse. And it's easier said than done, but they have the heroes to do it with. Oh, barely
Mind
got out.
Control. That was nice.
Oh, yeah, Rammus is playing a good game here on Wyvern for sure. And they've just set up Storm for an incredible game, right? I don't know what the damage numbers are right now, but I imagine Storm would have done like half of their team's damage almost. Like, okay, that's maybe exaggerated, but just for the sake of it, he's
a
doing
bajillion damage.
So much with the setup that he's given.
And I thought he was definitely going to expend that Aegis, but the Cold Embrace kept him alive, and they will be able to use it in the next fight.
Oh, big jump mid. Oh, Miracle! Holy shit, dude.
Wow. That strength was so fast.
5% HP.
Under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
If Ice Blast connects, 100% a kill, obviously, but I think Tanner going for that alone is actually the right play. If he waits for the A Blast, the Morph is gone. He has to try.
A few items picked up. Third Eye
Storm.
And Quickening Charm. So we get some CDR for Team Nigma, and what was the other? Yeah, I really like Third Eye. It's a cool item. They buffed it recently to get 7 attributes. As we're gonna have a jump in, but GH gets off the snowball. How deep does Tanner want to go? Remember, he still has the Aegis, so not too scared.
When's it expiring?
Relatively low on
1
mana,
minute.
though. Yeah, he might not actually end up using it properly, so just have to use it as a regen rune, essentially. And Miracle doing the Miracle thing, pushing the opposite lane. Quite safe right now. Of course, even with all their setup, he is still pretty hard to kill if you got those quick fingers.
He needs to be wary of Storm at all times. I think outside of him, it's very hard for them to get the Morphling kill. They need that big burst to come in. Who are they putting the Craggy? They put it on Lich. Lich is very tanky now. Craggy Coat and Essence Ring. I think Korra should try to like semi-bait in the next fight. Try to get jumped. If you get Frost Shield and Glimmer off, I don't think you die. You have Essence Ring and a lot of armor. That's a good item. Titan's Liver.
Sliver, Titan Sliver, also known as Titan Silver by everyone else that says it.
Super good on Morph because of the base attack damage. And Morph has super high base damage when he's morphed into agility. So it should be a very nice item for him to grab. He'll be given it. Also magic resistance and status resistance.
Oh, the jump in.
Will be cool. That's
The
BKB.
newly picked up BKB Kuroki, still alive. This BKB is...
Dire's middle tower
Feels like
is
it
under
was
attack.
unfortunate timing, actually. Tenor not able to get any big value target out of it. Another Titan Sliver, this time for Viking, as the Centaur will hold on to that for now. Who is that best on for Viking? Oh, he passes it off to Venge.
I think it's good on Venge. Yeah. High base damage. Loves the magic resistance and status resistance. Venge core really wants to get in there and tank damage. So it's a nice choice for him.
What do you think of the build, by the way, on Venge?
I think it's solid.
It feels
It's a
like
stable
the
build.
prototypical. It's how do you say it? It's like a very typical core Venge build where you just build tanky, and it's not like very exciting build. You're not going for any crazy items. But the question I have, you might have to hold that as Miracle and Company.
Look how much attack range
We're
Venge has,
smoked
though.
up.
Venge has 690 range.
Under attack.
So he's actually hitting at the range of a normal carry, if you will, because of the aura plus Dragonlance.
Now, how much does this give now? 150 bonus attack range. That's pretty good. She does feel like a normal hero now. But anyway, what I was going to say is, do you think the Ags on her fits as a core Venge? Because it feels like this game, if you fear a major, like even a couple heroes on the enemy team, Storm and company can kind of just pick somebody off, and that can work to your advantage. Or is it more like if you're just a farm support?
I think one of the thing is, if you do that on the Venge, I don't think Storm should go Ags, right? Because I think one of them should be going damage. Storm is going Ags.
He's going Ags.
So if Venge is going Ags and Storm is also going Ags, you have all this control, but you don't have the damage. Although the two spells kind of have cool synergy, right? One pulls them in and the other fears them away. So if you fear them at the... Oh, I don't even know. It doesn't really matter, right? It's not...
I mean, it could have some counter synergy, too, depending on how it plays out as Venge.
Oh,
He
you
gets
got caught.
initiated on. Oh,
Good
he's
glimmer.
still alive. Pops the BKB. A little bit late, actually, but gets the way nonetheless. Probably didn't even need to pop it, honestly.
No, he was fine.
Just shrine up, though.
Bit of a panic moment. Celery was there with a quick glimmer.
So Morphling Miracle not able to blow anybody else up. He actually is going to be going Ags now.
Yeah. I think this is the right time to do it in this game. Either now or without playing with Dragonlance, I think. I definitely think E-Blade is very useful here. It's super good for his team. And he needs BKB. That's too much stuff. Aramis is waiting.
Yeah, he's just going to TP out now.
Nope. He's not. He canceled it. They're going to do a... Oh,
some
nice play
TPs
from
here.
Toby there.
Toby getting off the hoof stomp. Mind control. He might try to bait this and Wyvern get off a crazy curse.
Oh, he's
Oh,
smart.
they're actually going to find him, though. Curse is applied a little bit early. A blast incoming. Fissure to help block. Nice snowball, keeping Morphling nice and safe. Storm jumps in. BKB pop by Miracle, though. He's going to try to right-click his way. Gets swapped, though, into death. So nice setup overall from Viking. Maybe not the cleanest setup, but a kill nonetheless.
This curse into Ice Blast is actually ruining Morph. He's having so much trouble. And the axe from the Shaker Axe will definitely help him try to jump out, but again, keep in mind the health bars.
Under attack.
It's still dangerous. No buyback Miracle. Are they going to take the chance?
No Shad
Look at him
completely out of
hitting
mana just
from
with that
there
MP.
with Venge. It looks so weird.
Yeah, it
looks
does.
like a
It does
custom
not feel
game.
natural. This is Dota Imba right now. Has the Eagle song in his backpack, actually. Can't say I've seen that very often. Tanner has 25 Bloodstone charges, does have the finished Aghanim Scepter, forces the BKB from Weehaw, and I think they just disengage with the Stampede now. They're super happy with that. That was the 10-second BKB. Now they can just reset and potentially just go now. Oh, they're going to smoke, actually. Ooh. Snowballs used. This would be... Ooh. That How
I
did
think
he...
for once, that was a mistake not swapping first. A lot of the time, the advice is to use Wave of Terror first to cancel the dagger. But he gave GH time to react. If he swaps first and GH blinks after, he will either blink into Venge or get into a really awkward angle. So I think swapping first there was better. Alright, big moment here. This Roche, Aegis and Cheese and Viking are in an amazing position.
Yeah, they have a 9k lead right now, so we'll see what happens. Curse onto the Earthshaker, into the stun from Venge, into the complete lockdown from Centaur. Tanner trying to create as much space as possible, and looks like they will find the Earthshaker if he's going to buy back into the game. Remember, BKBs have been used. Oh my god, good stun from Swordspear into the A blast. Oh, the trig after this unbelievable Echo Slam on the buybacking Mind Control. Jumps in, doesn't really do that much damage though. They might find Shad though. Miracle still doing a lot of damage himself. That's a die back onto the Earthshaker. Kuroki buys back in the game as well. Onto the Lich. And Miracle able to clean up a couple heroes.
There it is, Ultra Kill A, like we all expected at the start of that fight.
Yeah, I was definitely expecting. I mean, why does he even have this Helm of the Undying? He ain't dying.
Dude, that was a fucking juicy combo though. The 3-man Vortex from Storm Spirit into the AA ult. Beautifully done. And they will more than likely be able to re-Roche from this. They still have the Venge alive, so she can tank the Roche, she can give them damage. Or rather, oh yeah, a bit of damage. Now it's obviously the attribute-based damage. It's proving to be a relatively tough kill though. Miracle is not interested in going close, so...
Oh, Courier is dead. Poor GH will not be getting any GPM for the foreseeable future. We have one hero here, Kuroki.
Oh, that is too late.
Yeah, way too late. Miracle wants to jump in, but alas, nothing. No, Sunstrike does not connect either. So Tanner, 29 Bloodstone charges, has Aegis, even a Cheese to boot. And he's just going to go back and heal the old-fashioned way. Viking looking very strong this game.
And you know who we feel like we've barely seen compared to how good his start was? Is this Earthshaker. I have just not seen much out of Mind Control this game. I think part of the problem is they don't have anybody who can set him up or frontline. Nobody wants to frontline because whoever goes first gets cursed, ice blasted, and killed. And you can't really expend anyone. You can't expend Morph like that. You can't expend the Invoker like that and expect a good fight. So who do you run in? Do you run in your Lich or your Tusk? If it's Tusk, I don't think they're gonna curse. They're just gonna start hitting him. So it's tricky.
The good news, I mean, this is gonna put the Morph Earthshaker combo to the test, right? In the old patch, even with this deficit, I'd say they have the advantage because they have Morph Earthshaker. Well, they're online now. We'll see how big this nerf actually was. And I don't think Viking knows about this yet. Stone Spirit jumps in. Remember, has that Aegis. Nice snowball. BKB's going to be wasted to some degree. Still doing quite a bit of damage, but that was the 7-second BKB gone. As everyone's going to reset. Miracle. He can just have it up 100% of the time, right?
Yeah.
I'm getting a second wind.
Shad's gonna get a stun up, and in the meantime, we have a fight down here. Weehaw pops the BKB. Oh, GH stuck on the cliff. He doesn't have snowball for the 15 seconds. He's gonna have to attempt to TP out. Storm just comes up though. The stun from the cold feet keeps him in place. And this is looking disastrous for Nigma as Viking. A 3-0
None of them
fight.
have buybacks.
Yeah, they've all used them repeatedly.
If Viking notice, they actually end the game. They might be worried about one buyback here, Mind Control, killing the wave with Echo Slam, but there's still another wave in their base. They're just going for it.
Oh my. Wow. Viking 2-1 is looking very likely right now, unless there is some miraculous comeback with Weeha's Invoker with half mana right now. Remember, loser goes to lower brackets, so they'll have another chance. These two teams may even meet again in the grand finals. We'll see. But it's not over yet, as they are not going for Throne anymore. They're going to go for this bottom racks, it looks like. Weehaw. He does have the hero
to wait for the creep wave. They're going in.
Okay. So now
Deafening Blast here. hit all 4.
On 4.
Has fallen.
Very nice. Get a little achievement out of that. Tornado onto 3. AA Blast does not connect. BKB popped up from Weehaw. And this looks like a 2-1 for Viking in very impressive fashion. I am quite impressed to say the least. GG's come out.
Radiant.
I know a lot of people might say that Team Nigma maybe played not their game per se, but I'm going to go the other side and say Viking just played really well. Their combos were outstanding.
Viking played a
and they just
super fucking
snowballed.
good game here. Like, you can't... You can say what you want, and I would not disagree with people saying this was not Nigma's best game, like you just said, but Viking played really well here. There was a reason this game looked hard for Nigma, and it was not only themselves. Super impressed, especially with the Wyvern's performance. I said before the game started, I think this will be a tough Wyvern game, but he did so much work for his team. And it's very clear they have a feeling about this strategy with the AA Wyvern together. They got massive value out of it and just played, honestly, kind of mind-blowing games, especially when you consider how they got run over in game 1. Like, usually, world-class team meets tier 2 team, crushes them in game 1, the tier 2 team is just broken. It's like, okay, what the hell do we do? And they just turned it around and won 2 in a row toward the end here. I was really not expecting that, and it's honestly very impressive to see from Vikings. So yeah, hats off to them. Great work, and good luck in the finals tomorrow against one of 3 teams. Yep.